Queen Mary, Queen Agnes, Queen Matilda, and yeah, Batambelli. Y'all asked for it. And we check this out.
Busting jailhouse is where the money there.
Let me burn it too!
Fireburn, 1878, October 1st. So, in my previous video, we covered Emancipation Day, where the slaves, right, the enslaved were set free. That was not really the case. A year later, they came up with the Labor Act, which sounds a lot familiar, like salary nowadays. Anyways, the Labor Act gave these now freed slaves hourly wages, well, daily wages, which was really next to nothing. Sometimes like 3 cents for a regular labor and up to like 10 to 15 cents for a skilled laborer. But mind you, they still had to pay housing. They had to pay even for land that they was just growing their own crops in. They had expenses. And they noticed, and I know this sounds a lot similar to today, they noticed, listen, this ain't cutting it. We need better. October 1st is contract day. That was the one time on a yearly basis that they could try to seek other employment for better themselves, their family. On that day, they went down there. They were tired of this fixed low wages, these yearly contracts, no freedom of movement. Once you was tied to that year with that person, you couldn't leave that plantation without their permission. Had a lot. Sounds a lot like still they was enslaved. So a gathering took place in West, of course, Fort Frederick, historic place. And an initial protest started to happen. Right? They were demanding higher wages, wanted to repeal the Labor Act. And the organization, well, the little group got more tense and it started to grow. Through that, this person in Henry Trotman, the catalyst that started everything. Mr. Henry Trotman was a farm laborer. He was brutally beaten by the colonial police. Now, rumors started to spread, though, that he died from the brutal beatings. That rumor got everyone enraged. The workers confronted the Danish soldiers, telling them, listen, that's it. Started to throw stones. Everything broke loose now. Soldiers retaliated with gunfire. The laborers scattered. Soldiers run inside the fort. And it was around that time when the riots start happening and everything else that these queens come into leadership.
Don't ask me nothing tall. Just give me the match and oil.
Fireburn!
Queen Mary Thomas, Queen Agnes Solomon, Queen Matilda McBean, and Susanna Abramson, Widokashi Batambelli. They rose up to leading roles along with many others, right? But they were deeply respected within the community. Mary used to call herself the captain. Yeah. And they took down and decided to forcefully take what was theirs. Their strategy to burn down everything. They burned sugar cane fields, they burned sugar mills, plantation, guest house, great house, you name it, they burned everything. Almost 50 estates, plantations was burnt. Now, don't get me wrong. This thing went, This didn't happen without consequences, right? The Danish colonial authorities responded with power as well. Danish troops come heavily armed, but they also call for reinforcement from the British, French, and even American warship arrive in the coast. The Americans didn't do anything, but even that came to that point to help handle this thing. An estimated 100 workers that were protesting, right? We ain't calling them slaves no more. They were workers. They were killed. Hundreds more of laborers were arrested. Harsh sentences was given out, including 12 people that was sentenced to death and was executed by a firing squad. 39 also was sentenced to death, but many of them was commuted after to hard labor, life with hard labor. And this included our queens. The queens, all four, was sent to Denmark, in Copenhagen around there, as they went to serve their sentences. Bottombelly was sent back earlier, 1 year. I don't know how much years passed between that, my bad. But she was sent back to St. Croix. The following year after that, the three queens was also sent back here. They end up solving their life in jail. After everything happened, and the island gotta go back to normal, the economic devastation of the burning of the plantations, the mills, all of that stuff, it damaged the sugar industry on the island. Also, put a hardship on everyone here as well. So, that's all I got for today. Meanwhile, I make this too long. But the queens, what they stood for, what they did, will forever be engraved in our history, and I don't want us to forget, so it's a little longer than usual. They sacrificed their lives for the better of others. Although at the ending, many might say, well, it didn't really work and they actually didn't get better, it got worse. But also, others say that Fireburn is what helped the Danes say, you know what? Let we sell St. Croix to the Americans. Because the Americans were interested back in the 1800s before 1917. It's a touchy subject. One thing I'm glad for is that we have history to remind us. I just did here doing a lot of due diligences, finding interesting topics, things that I thought I knew. And then I figure out, man, I only know like the surface. I never knew the whole thing. I find it interesting and I bring it to you guys. I appreciate everyone for the support. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all stay safe.
We will go down in history for what we did, my sisters. Yes.
From the VI, VI. From the VI to the world. Blow! Yes! Oye, dímelo Jota. The movie maker. La Pauta Records.